What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Realm Status, your weekly news for Camelot Unchained. I'm your host, Swiper, and today I want to review the weekly wrap-up for October 11th, 2019. So, guys and gals, if you're new to my channel, every week I go over some of my favorite topics and favorite questions from the weekly wrap-up that Camelot Unchained does every Friday. Now, if you caught some of their streams before, you'll know it's can go anywhere from a half hour to over an hour. So what I like to do with this stream is make it about 10 minutes, maybe a little over 10 minutes. This way you can get a general idea and a quick update on what's been happening each week with Camelot Unchained. So without further ado, let's get started with 5 of some of my favorite topics. Starting with number 1, work in progress VFX, The Dark Fool. So, Mike worked on the VFX for the Dark Fool. The placeholder VFX for the Dark Fool starting abilities have been replaced with VFX that are more appropriate for the class. We are aware that some of the support class VFX are playing on the wrong targets and hope to get this in next week. So, I did not actually get to test this out this week, Saturday. Well, today's Saturday. They had a test Saturday. I just missed it by a half hour getting home. So, I did not get to play this class, so if anybody got to play this, let me know what you think. Not too much, so obviously we can't talk about it, but let me know if it was cool, if it was fun, if it was any different, if it felt the same to the minstrel. Let us know. All right, let's move on to number 2, which is number 13 on the list. This would be art concept, medium armor. So as mentioned last week, we had more armor concepts incoming. Michelle did a great job coming up with realm-specific full outfits that are themed around the support classes. She also updated last week's concepts to be more in line with the existing CU medium armor, so the different parts can be mixed and matched better. These updates are included in the changes to fit our part system. So I think they gave some updates on images, so I'll make sure I place them up there while I'm talking about this or whatever. So they actually look pretty cool. I took a look before doing this video, and I like them. I like them a lot. All right, so let's move on to 14. Work in progress, art and spears. Per last week's concept art of TDD spears, we've begun work on a couple of other new weapons. As with our previous weapons, these are assembled in parts for more variation from crafters. So my understanding of how this game is going to work, if you are unfamiliar or unaware, that when crafters make weapons, they're going to be made in parts. So I think I said this in a prior stream before, but I think Guild Wars 1 did something similar. Like you could make like the hilt of a sword and put the blade in it and things like that. It was pretty cool. Now I could be totally misquoting Guild Wars 1. It's been way too long since I played it, but I remember seeing like parts of weapons you were able to like craft with and do things with. So I think it's going to be something similar to that. So I think when they're doing all these art pieces, I think they're actually making the parts also. I don't know if they're just drawing out the physical piece and then just saying, okay, that's it. I think they're actually making the parts as well. So that is pretty cool. All right, so let's move on to the next one. Number 15, art and Viking shields. So anytime there's a Viking update, I'm going to put it in here. No matter how small or big, I'm putting it in here, baby, because I'm a Viking true at heart. Vikings! So anyway, we've completed 2 new Viking shields. One more basic and one a bit cooler. So I'll definitely throw those up as well on the screen so you can take a look at those. And let's move on to the next one. Number 17. Design, scripting. MJ also found time to work on some scripting design for our engine's ability to have world-based events in timing. Hell yes, this is one thing I love in games. And I don't know if any of you guys ever played Rift. I actually really liked Rift when it came out. I thought the class system was great. I thought I guess they were called the Rifts that would come in and like invade towns. I thought those were so cool because they would actually like invade towns. And when the population was there, it was great. Like it was a really cool like spectacle, all these flashing lights and everybody going in there, and it was so cool. But I don't know. Anyway, it's probably gonna be maybe something similar to that. I don't know what it's gonna be like, but as you can see, like weather, lightning strikes, or veil storms, they're building out this system. We need to make the world become more alive and aware. So this is really cool. This is going to be awesome. It's going to be maybe some of those like dynamic events. Maybe something we'll see while we're like mid-battle, or we'll see this like veil storm come across, and we're like, oh shit, like what do we do? So that is really going to be exciting. So anyway, I got a little excited there. let's tone it down a bit. Let's move on to the questions. All right, question number 1. Do you already have ideas to balance the game? Range versus melee if it's unbalanced in beta 2 and 3. So I think it's no secret that this game is definitely not balanced. And for anyone that's not testing this game or in this game, I do see questions about, oh, what class is, is this class better than this class? And it's not there yet, right? It's not there yet. They need to get all the classes in. They need to thoroughly test this out more. They need other people to test it out more and do things that they are not aware of or they didn't think of. Because let's face it, some players have a lot more time than even some of the developers do to actually play this. And they'll see things that developers won't see. It's just a given fact. So to answer the question, in beta 2 and 3, don't expect this game to be balanced. He says that Mark says that there are going to be issues, expect issues, and just expect him and their team to, do their best to balance this game out. He says that, obviously a rock, paper, scissors game is a lot harder to balance than a mirrored class system game. And that's why I think a lot of games really don't do rock, paper, scissors. They just do the mirrored class system because it's one less headache for them. Balance is difficult enough when all the classes are essentially the same on both sides. But think about it like everything's different and you can put points in, certain aspects of your character. Like it's going to be difficult to balance. So overall, my take on this is as long as they keep working on it, as long as they listen to us and can say, yeah, that actually is OP, let's do something about it. Or, yeah, that is really shitty. Let's change that up a little bit. I'll be happy. I know balance is hard. I don't know if it's ever going to be perfect, but I don't know one game where it actually is perfect. I really don't. All right, so let's move on to question number 2. So are we still going to get the report of how we did in the last game session? So this was actually my question, and in beta this does exist. I knew it existed, but one thing I noticed is if you guys ever catch Max's stream in the mornings, every once in a while you get some new people in there and say, hey, what is this game? Or hey, just found this game out. Or hey, I'm returning this game. Like, what's happening? So I figured it would be probably pretty appropriate because if those new people came into this stream today, then shoot, maybe they don't know about this feature. But also, this is one of my favorite features, so I wanted to just ask about it, get it out there, and see if anybody else could add on to this question. But anyway, so let's get to the answer. So he says, yes, this is the game now. This is not going to be going away. This is a placeholder right now. This feature, basically, he says that this feature is going to make this MMO much different from any other MMO. Whereas if you think about in most MMOs, you go out there, you kill something, you get XP for it right then and there. I don't think that this is exactly how this game is going to work. I'm not entirely sure, but what I do know is with what you do, killing people, taking keeps, or crafting, and doing everything else out there, the next day, the next time you log in, you're going to see the progress. You're going to see what you did, and you're going to see rewards, and it's going to be a really cool concept in my opinion. I can't wait to see it in like full action. All right, so let's move on to question number 3. When can we expect the next patch of design documents? I'm sorry, batch. When can we get the next batch of design documents? So Mark said he wanted to get through the state of the game that's happening at the end of October. So if you guys don't know what he means by the state of the game, I think they're going to give us some more information on the game. And I don't think they're going to give us a release date, but I think he's going to give us more of an idea of maybe when beta 2 is. Maybe. That's just speculation. But let's see how it goes. And that's going to happen on the last Friday of the month. So I'll definitely be covering that video. All right, so number 4. Is class focus mostly on the minstrel at this point, or are crafters and the devout being worked on the side to get them in sooner? So this was an awesome question. I think the person that asked this, his name is Brand, and I know there's a brand that actually does like a Camelot Unchained podcast. So if you guys are interested, definitely check that out. It's like some of the only people that do podcasts for this game. I've seen like 1 or 2 episodes. It's pretty good. It's a lot of speculation. They make a lot of good points. So definitely check them out. And if it's a different brand, oops, sorry, man. But anyway, this is a great question because I've been dying to hear about these devout classes. So basically Mark says that, hey, the main focus is on the support classes right now. He wants to get them all in. He wants us to play them, get them tested. And once this all occurs, then they'll start working in the devout classes. So sounds like we just need to get through the support classes. Once I get the devout classes in, we'll be that much closer. And for the last question, with more focus on Linuxification, or just converting their servers to Linux, are you happy with destruction, or is there more work to be done with that? So it sounds like they are happy with the destruction, but they still need to do some tweaks, right? I think when you destroy some of the castle and it falls down and it breaks apart, I think what they're saying is that some of the rubble will like not fully settle. It doesn't look totally natural. So I think there's some small things they need to do, but I think the majority of it is completed. So I'm pretty sure they're in good shape. I mean, when I see some of the castle getting destroyed and stuff, I'm not necessarily looking at each detail, but I'm not a programmer and I'm not like fully zoomed in on everything like they are. And I'm sure that a lot of people that test a lot more than I do notice it. So we'll see. But it sounds like they got over the big hurdle of this destruction. I think they got a lot of the bugs and the fixes that they needed in. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for me today. Not too much to announce today. I did want to talk about a few things before I headed out. So anybody that got to test the Dark Fool, let me know how it went. I just missed the test by a half hour. I want to know if there is a huge difference between the Minstrel and the Dark Fool, or if it's pretty similar. I also got a really good question on YouTube. It was essentially a question about how the casual versus a hardcore player is going to be able to compete in this game. So be on the lookout for that video for next week sometime, maybe Wednesday, Thursday. But anyway, if you guys like this video, please hit that thumbs up. And if you want more updates regarding Camelot Unchained, please hit that subscribe button. Thank you again and have a great weekend, everybody. Peace out.